I'm Michelle Mackey, and this is Force of Nature Extended. And we have more safety tips on that at theweathernetwork.com. I'm Michelle Mackey, and we do have a few warnings and watches in effect for Northern Ontario. Winter storm warning and freezing rain warning, along with a fog advisory, really dense foggy, patchy fog through the following areas. Now, in terms of the snow, what are the numbers that we're looking at? Well, through Tuesday in the areas in the dark blue there, we're looking at 10 to 25 centimeters. Further to the south, about 5 to 10 centimeters. And as we go into southern Ontario, that precipitation turns to rain. For the most part, we're looking at 15 to 30 centimeters, and the bulk of this rain will fall through Monday. Alrighty, so let's take you now to the East Coast, your Atlantic rain chart here. Well, we're looking at 5 to 15 in the areas just in the green highlight there. And as we go to the southern coast of Newfoundland, we're looking at between 15 and 25 millimeters of rain to fall. Little dog. Dogs, I think, enjoy winter a lot more than I do. All right, so what's happening out west? We have this weak Atlantic system that is bringing some precipitation to Vancouver, clearing up by Wednesday, but that will mean some snow across the Rockies for Calgary later on this week. Through the prairies this week, instead, cold temperatures. That's our big story. I'll get to that in just a moment. But let's start now on the East Coast. We are seeing warmer conditions through Monday. We will see some scattered showers throughout the day through our maritime provinces, but we'll start off the day nice and clear. And for Newfoundland, beautiful day. Now through Ontario, we have two big systems that are merging together over the province, bringing widespread precipitation, snow to the north, rain to the south, and very windy conditions, colder through the prairies and unsettled for the BC coast. Now, the BC coast will clear up a little bit later on in the week. I'll get to that in just a moment. But first, your Alberta Monday morning commuting temperatures. Calgary -4. The sun is out. The sun will stay out for Tuesday as well until we get some snow midweek. Now, for the prairies, those cold temperatures are on the way. You think this is bad? Just wait until Monday. Regina -13 to start off our Monday morning. And believe it or not, those are pretty typical of what we see this time of year in terms of our seasonal temperatures. Through Ontario, those temperatures well above seasonal, and that's because we're getting that southerly flow of air. Again, lots of wind. We're going to see really soggy conditions as well. So if you're in the Toronto area, make sure you give yourself a little bit of extra time on that Monday morning commute. We start the day off mostly clear through Atlantic Canada. And again, it's going to be a beautiful day for Newfoundland. We're sitting right around that freezing mark for most of the day. Now Tuesday, back to your national highlights, we are seeing more wet conditions for the west coast, but this low is traveling over the Rockies, and come Wednesday, it's going to be bringing snow to Calgary and southern portions of Alberta, and we are also getting that dip in the jet stream because this Arctic high is traveling south, funneling with it colder temperatures. We are going to be feeling wind chills in the mid-20s, so make sure you're bundling up the kids before they go into school midweek, and that's a trend that will last throughout the rest of the school week as well. Colder temperatures as well on tap for Ontario, and this is the calm before the storm on Wednesday. Thursday, we could see a nor'easter. Now, I want to let you know we have our winter outlook coming up on. For tuning into the Weather Network, my name is Michelle Mackey with a look at your national forecast. Those Monday temperatures, let's start it off. Toronto sitting at 14, well above the seasonal norm. As we head further to the east, Halifax also above that seasonal form, sitting at a mild 11 degrees, and Vancouver at 8. Now, I do want to talk about a bit of a flood risk that we are seeing through Buffalo. As you know, we had over 200 centimeters of snow fall throughout the area last week. Now, with warming temperatures due to this southerly flow along with this Texas low, we run the risk of melting. We also have rain in the forecast, and thus there is a flood warning that has been issued for the area. That's a very likely possibility. Now, before we get to the rest of our national forecast, here is a sneak peek of Unearthed. Wow, exciting stuff. Don't want to miss that. That will be airing from 1 to 5 a.m. at the top of every hour, and that is Eastern Standard Time, so you don't want to miss out on that. All right, back to our forecast now. This is going to be a big weather maker, this low pressure system that is over Ontario on Monday, tracking east by Tuesday, bringing windy conditions, widespread precipitation, and for Newfoundland, that will be in the form of mixing. Colder temperatures on tap for Tuesday through Ontario, and we will see wet weather continue for the west coast. Now, in terms of our temperatures, Sunday, our national hotspot was Victoria. It was the Vancouver Harbor on Saturday. All right, coming up, Unearthed Frozen Desert begins in just 30 seconds, but first, a look at your national temperatures for this week. We are seeing really cold temperatures on tap for the prairies. We will be dipping down into the -20s, and that's not even factoring in the wind chill. That is due to a dense Arctic high that will be moving into the area. We see a warming trend for the beginning of the week through Ontario and the Maritimes, but that will be cooling off by Wednesday. Unearthed begins now. Unearthed begins again in just 30 seconds, but first let's talk about that major Texas low and how it will be impacting Ontario and also the Buffalo area. Flood warning in effect, and that is due to the 2 meters of snow that fell last week, the rain, and the warming temperatures. So that is a very real risk. Meanwhile, in Ontario, we're seeing warming temperatures for Monday, along with very high winds and widespread rain. Unearthed finishes now.